Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Saturday Club. I hope that you've had a good week and that you're ready to join me this Saturday morning and learn more about God. And it's a bit grey where I am today. It was lovely and sunny first thing this morning, but now it's grey, but we can still be joyful inside because we can worship God. And I've got my lovely flowers here that I think last week they were all tightly up in buds and they've opened out and they're now beautiful flowers that I've been enjoying all week long. And I wonder what you've been doing this week. I've been very, very busy with work. Some days I didn't even have much time to eat my lunch. But I'm really pleased because now I have finished work and I've got a week's holiday. So I don't have to go to work next week. Instead, I'm going to go and see my brother and my sister-in-law, and I'm going to see my baby nephew Joshua and get to have lots of baby cuddles. And I'm also going to get to see Maggie the cat and Chester the bunny. So I'm really looking forward to my holiday next week. But that does mean that there won't be any Saturday Club next Saturday because I will be away. So there will be no Saturday Club next Saturday, I'm afraid. But I will be back the Saturday afterwards as usual. So I look forward to seeing you then. And I know that some of you have been very busy with your crafts. I had some photos from the boys in my church of the craft that they did last week. So this is the oldest one, Josiah's. His poster about no other gods, and he's coloured it in really, really carefully, and he's used a nice green and blue colour theme, and he decided to take the pictures that I'd given you, and he decided to colour them in and stick them down. So thank you for that, Josiah. And then Reuben, the middle boy, he decided to draw his own things. So he's done lovely stripes on and patterns, spots and stripes on the number 1. And he's done a rainbow, no other gods. And then he's drawn a Bible, and he's even started writing Holy Bible on it. He got as far as H and O, but he was writing Holy Bible, I think. And then I think that these are hands praying to God. And then here I think we have people singing to God. So those are lovely pictures, Reuben. Well done. And then Joel, who's the youngest one, who's learning to do colouring in, and some of his colouring, he's coloured in his hands quite well, but I think he had lots of fun doing this colouring in, and I wonder if he did the cutting out as well, or if he had help with the cutting out. I'm not sure whether his mum helped him, but thank you for that, Joel, and it's really nice to see you joining in with the Saturday Club crafts, all of you. So do get in touch if you want to send me pictures of the crafts that you've done from Saturday Club. That's really good. And I wonder who we've got listening today. So I know that Josiah and Reuben and Joel will be catching up tomorrow afternoon. So hello on Sunday afternoon, Josiah and Reuben and Joel. How are you? And then I don't know whether your cousins Brandon and Jaden and Layla are watching. Hello Brandon and Jaden and Layla, how are you? And I've just seen that Gwendolyn and Paula are watching. So hello, Gwendolyn and Paula. We have grown-ups who are watching too, you know. And then I don't know if Abby's still watching. Hello, Abby. How are you? And then in London, Isaac and Daniel and Luke and Noah. Hello, boys. How are you? And also in London, Finley and Bethany. Hello, Finley. Hello, Bethany. How are you? And then in Switzerland, we've got Michaela and Matthias. Hello, Michaela. Hello, Matthias. And Jamie and Emily. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Emily. And also Jessie and Lena. Hello, Jessie. Hello, Lena. And little Nina. Hello, Nina. I think we're singing your favourite song today, Nina. I was told that you really like this song, so I made sure we sang it this week. And then Irina and Sonia. Hello, Irina. Hello, Sonia. I'm sorry I missed your message last week, Irina. It didn't pop up on my screen and I didn't see it. But hello, Irina and Sonia. And then Irina and Sonia's cousin in Indonesia, Michelle. Hello, Michelle. And then in Luxembourg, hello, Joffiel. Hello, Kate. I hope you're okay. I haven't had your craft for a while. I hope you're okay, Joffiel and Kate. And then in France, bonjour Luc, bonjour Julia, comment ça va? And also in France, bonjour Louise, bonjour Léona, comment ça va? Hello Louise and Léona and Luke and Julia. And then in Australia, hello Ryan, how are you? I know you were watching last week. And then in India, hello Paul and hello Praslin. It's really good to see all of these people, all of these children watching Saturday Club. So I hope that you've all had a good week and that you're looking forward to the weekend, and maybe tomorrow you're going to be going to church to worship God, and that's a really good thing to do, to go to church on Sunday and to worship God. And I'm looking forward to that, and we're going to be thinking about how God wants us to worship him in Saturday Club today. We're going to be thinking about that. So be sure to listen out so that you know how God wants us to worship him on Sundays, because we're going to be thinking about that today. I haven't done any craft this week, you know. I have been so busy and so tired. I haven't done any crafts at all. I even had to remind myself this morning to get my craft ready to show you how to do the craft later on today. So as I've been so busy, I have no crafts to show you. But I'm hoping I'm going to catch up and do some crochet next week while I'm on my holiday. I do like doing my crochet when I've got the time. But today I've got to tidy up my flat. I had a very big parcel arrive this week, and I still haven't got rid of the paper from the very big parcel. So I have a huge cardboard box sitting in my living room. So yes, I need to get rid of that tomorrow. Or maybe I should see whether any of my neighbours would like it for their children. That's a good idea, isn't it? Maybe there might be some children who would like to build something out of a great big cardboard box. So maybe I should do that instead of putting it in the rubbish. But yes, I need to tidy up my house today, and I need to make sure I water my plants before I go away. I've got some more plants now. I bought some more plants to put in my house, so that I've got some lovely hyacinths. I'm hoping they're going to grow and make beautiful red hyacinths, which will make my house smell lovely. So I'm looking forward to that. I do like hyacinths. They're my favourite flowers, and they remind me how wonderful God's creation is, that he made everything, all sorts of flowers. God didn't make one flower and one fruit and one vegetable. God made all sorts of flowers and fruits and vegetables, and that's something that we can praise him for. So we're nearly ready to start now. We've got 1 minute left. So we'll see whether anyone comes along and watches in that 1 minute. At the moment, my computer is telling me that only one person is watching. I hope there are more people watching than that. I know sometimes my computer doesn't get the numbers quite right, but I hope that more than one person is watching today. Right, well, it is past now, so we're going to start, and we're going to start off by praying. So let's put our hands together, close our eyes, and pray to God. Dear God, thank you that you are a great God. Thank you that you are a God who made this world and everything that there is, a wonderful world for us to enjoy. Thank you that you are a God who has given us good rules for us to follow and obey. And thank you that you are a God who has given us the Bible, which tells us how we can obey you and tells us how we can be your friends. Help us to worship you properly today. Amen. Right, we're going to start off by singing, and we're going to start off with a song that we always sing. Is it My God is So Small? No. Is it My God is So Enormous? Not quite. It's My God is So Big. You ready? My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. The rivers are his, the mountains are his, the stars are his handiwork too. My God is so big, So strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. That's right, and God really is big and strong and mighty, and he made everything around us, from the smallest plant in your garden to the biggest star in the universe. God made it all. Now we're going to start off by learning our memory verse. And because we're learning God's 10 good rules, we're going to learn rule number 2 today. Rule number 2. And I've written it here for you. It says, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. And what that means is that we mustn't make anything that we think looks like God. Any idols, any statues, any carvings. Anything that we think looks like God, because no one knows what God looks like. And we've got some actions to help us learn it. So we've got thou, so we're going to point out to remember that when God says thou, he's talking to everyone. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Should we do that again? Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. So thou pointing outward, shalt not make, shaking your head, unto thee, putting your hands on your chest, any graven image, and drawing like you're drawing a carving with your fingers. This time I'm going to say it and I want you to try doing the actions. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. How did you get on? Do you need me to do the actions this time and you can have a go at saying it? So that's a memory verse that you can learn, and it's from Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3. All of God's 10 good rules are found in Exodus chapter 20. Now, to start with, I don't know whether your mums and dads have printed this out, but we have got some pictures. And some of the pictures are things which are real and alive, but then some of them are things which are pretend, which people have made to look like the real thing. And I want you to try and match them up. So let's start at the top. We have got a picture of a baby, and it's fast asleep, because sometimes babies do sleep. Can you see on this side a pretend baby, a baby that someone has made to look like the real thing, a doll? Let's have a look. Is it this one? No, that's a pretend dog. Is it this one? No, that's a real bunny rabbit. It's this one. So I'm going to get a pen. I've got a blue pen, and I'm going to draw a line from the real baby to the pretend doll. There we go. Right. What have we got next? Well, this one is something that's pretend. It's two statues of two rabbits. So what do we need to find on the other side? We need to find the one that is real. Is it this one at the top? No, that's a cat yawning. Is it this one down the bottom? No, that's a teddy bear. Tell me when to stop. It's this one. There's a lovely bunny rabbit. A lovely bunny rabbit. I'm going to see a bunny rabbit on Monday. And he's a lovely bunny rabbit, but he does like chewing my clothes. So I have to take old clothes with me. Oh, I've just seen that Olive is watching. Hello, Olive. Olive is watching in Kenya. That's lovely. Hello, Melissa and Olive. Right. What are we going to... What's the next one? We've got a bear. A grizzly bear. It's getting a bit easier now. Is it this one? No, that's a dog. We're looking for the pretend one. What about this one? There's a fluffy teddy bear. They're very different. I like fluffy teddy bears. I don't think I'd like to meet a real grizzly bear. Right. 2 more to go. What's this one here? There's some cat earrings. Some cat earrings. Are they real or are they pretend? They're pretend. Can you find the real cat? I'm going to see if I can do it without your help. I'm going to go and have a look. Looking for a real cat. There we go. It was the one right at the top, the real cat. Yawning and licking its paw. And that just leaves 1. So we have got, is this one real or pretend? And is that one real or pretend? Which is the real one? It's the bottom one that's the real one, the real dog and the pretend statue. So I'm going to match them up. The real dog and the pretend statue. There we go. So sometimes people can make things that are pretend. They're not the real thing. Those things, the statues and the earrings and the teddy bear and the doll, they can't breathe. They can't move on their own. They can't walk around. When you touch them, they're cold. They're not warm. They can't lick you. They can't purr if they're a cat, or bark if they're a dog, or growl if they're a bear, or cry if they're a baby. They aren't real, they're just pretend. So we're going to be thinking some more about that later on, about things that are real and things that are pretend. But before we do that, we're going to sing. And we're going to sing our new song that we have been learning, the 10 Commandments song. So, do you remember it goes to the tune of Jingle Bells? So if you know Jingle Bells, you can sing along, and even if you can't remember the words, you can join in when it says, hey! So are you ready? No other gods, no idols, don't misuse God's name. Keep the Sabbath day holy, that's God's special day. Hey, honour your mum and dad, don't murder, lust or steal. No false tales, don't envy, this is God's great deal. Hey! Shall we sing that again? I don't think I quite heard your hays. Are you ready? No other gods, no idols, don't misuse God's name. Keep the Sabbath day holy, that's God's special day. Hey! Honour your mum and dad, don't murder, lust or steal. No false tales, don't envy, this is God's great deal. Hey! Now, last week we learnt about no other gods, and today we're going to be learning about no idols. That's the commandment that we're going to be learning about today. Now, in Saturday Club, all of our stories come from the Bible, and if you've been listening to Saturday Club for a while and watching, you will know how many books are in the Bible. So I wonder if you can remember how many books are in the Bible. Is it 10? No. Is it 25? No. Is it 40? No, it's 66. There are 66 books in the Bible, but they tell one big story, the story of God's plan to send Jesus. Now, today's story comes from 2 books in the Bible. We're going to be learning about one of God's 10 good rules from Exodus, and then we're going to be thinking about one of the Psalms, a song in the Psalms, which shows us how important that rule is. So I'm going to move a bit closer so that you can see that. So we've got one of God's 10 good rules from Exodus, and then a song in the Psalms, which shows us how important that rule is. And I'm going to read to you the rule now. So I'm going to get my Bible, and I'm going to go to Exodus, which is near the beginning of the Bible, chapter 20, and I'm going to read to you Exodus chapter 20, verses 4 to 6. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. So we're going to be learning about that good rule today, and it's from Exodus chapter 20 and verses 4 to 6. So, do you remember we are learning about God's 10 good rules? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. 10 good rules, and they're called the 10 Commandments. Now, they help the people know the right way to live. Now, rule number 1 that we learnt last week was do not have no other gods before thee. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. And that meant that we should love God because God is the one true and living God. And all of the other gods that people worship are false gods. They're not real. So we should only worship the one true God. Now, rule number 2 was thou shalt not make for thyself a graven image. You shall not make any idols. Now, an idol is something that somebody makes and says, this is my God. Something that you can hold and touch. That people say, this is my God and this is what my God looks like. And it's wrong to worship something that's just a model that somebody else has made. Even something made out of gold can't show how wonderful God is. We don't need a statue or even to be in a church building to worship God. We can worship God wherever we are. Now, have you ever heard someone boasting about something that they have? Maybe your friend says, I've got a mobile phone, or I've got some new football boots, or I've got the latest Barbie. Maybe they boast about something that they have. Now, some of the people who lived in the countries around Israel where the Israelites lived didn't know our God. They made statues out of wood or stone or clay, or perhaps even gold, and they bowed down before them and gave them names and worshipped them. And do you remember that's what happened last week in our story? The Philistines bowed down before their false god Dagon. Now, these people who had these idols that they worshipped, they said to the Israelites, look at our God. Where is your God? They wanted to see a statue or a picture of God. But Israel's God is different. They couldn't see him. Nobody in the world can see God with their eyes. He lives in heaven and he sees everything everywhere too. And that's when we pray. Sometimes we say to God, our Father in heaven, because we know that God is in heaven. Now, one man grew tired of hearing all of this boasting. So he sat down with his scroll and his pen to write a song or a poem. God helped him to write it. And we can read that poem in the Bible, in the book of Psalms, which is in the middle of the Bible. So I'm going to find that psalm now. And it's Psalm 115. And I'm going to read part of the poem to you. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. They have eyes, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. Noses have they, but they smell not. They have hands, but they handle not. Feet have they, but they walk not. And this is what the psalmist was saying. A psalm writer, he was saying, even if you make idols which have a mouth and a throat, they cannot speak to you. So I'm going to cross out the mouth or the throat. Even if you make an idol which has eyes, idols cannot see you. Even if you make an idol which has ears, idols cannot hear you speaking to them. Cross that one out too. Even if the idol that you've made has a nose, they cannot smell anything that you might bring to them in order to worship them. Cross that out too. Even if you make an idol that has hands, they cannot reach out and touch you. They can't feel you. Cross that out too. And they can't do anything either. Even if you make an idol with feet, they cannot walk or move about. They can't come and help you. So an idol that people have made, they don't have life. They can't do anything for us. Nothing at all. They can get lost or broken, but God will live forever. And that is why God says, don't worship idols. God is alive and real. He speaks to us through the Bible. He sees and knows us, and he can hear us when we pray to him. Now this man, our psalmist, carried on writing his poem. All you people, he said, trust in the Lord. He is a helper and a shield. God is strong. Remember, he made the world and everything in it. And he loves us. So of course he wants to help us. God helps us when we are scared or frightened. God is with us. God helps us to worship him. God helps us by giving us food to eat, by sending the rain and the sunshine. God helps us by giving us a new day every day. And God is like a shield. A shield protects somebody. And God protects us. God protects us from the attacks of Satan, God's enemy. And God protects us when we are frightened. And God protects us when we go through difficult times and hard times. God is with us. God is more able to help us and protect us than anybody else. And if you want God to be your helper and your shield, all you have to do is ask him. Go to God and ask God to be your helper and shield. And if you go to God and ask him to do that, and if you believe that Jesus died on the cross so that you could be forgiven for your sins and the times that you break God's good laws, because we all do, and if you ask God to forgive you, he will forgive you, and then he will be your heavenly Father, and he will be your helper and shield. And if that's true, if that has happened to us, then we should show how much we love God by the worship which comes from our hearts. And God is pleased when we talk to him in prayer, and when we sing to him, and when we obey his commandments. So maybe this week you could think about what you would like to say in a poem or a song to God, and maybe you could have a go at writing a poem or a song to God. And we're going to talk to God now, and we're going to worship him by telling him how wonderful he is. So let's pray. Dear God, our Father in heaven, God, you are a wonderful God. You see us, you hear us, you do things for us, you speak to us in the Bible, you know all about us, and you know everything that we do. And whenever we talk to you, you listen to us and you care for us. Thank you that you are such a great and wonderful God. Help us to worship you the way you want to be worshipped. Amen. Right, now I've sent out to mums and dads, and I've put on my church website some crafts for you to do. I'd like you to make another poster. And this one has commandment number 2, good rule number 2, and it says make no idols for you to colour in. And this week I've put the pictures for you to colour in on there, and I've coloured in all of my pictures carefully. But these pictures remind us what idols can't do, that they can't hear us, they can't do anything for us, they don't see us, they can't smell anything we bring to them, they can't walk or move around, and they can't speak to us. So when you've done your colouring in, I'd like you to take a pen, I'm choosing a red pen, and either cross them out, or if you want to make it like a road sign, you could draw a circle around it and put a line through it. So I'm going to do some of mine with crosses and some of mine with circles. And that reminds you of all of the things that idols can't do. But remember, God can do all of those things. So that's for the younger ones, and I'd love to see your pictures. And older ones can do that too, but there's also a worksheet to do. And we've got a lot of scrambled words. And what I would like you to do is unscramble all of the words, and then underneath some of the words there are numbers. And when you've unscrambled those words, you need to use the numbers so that you can see what God said that we should do. And there are 3 words there. And I'll give you a clue. You might find those 3 words somewhere else on the page. So there's lots of words to unscramble from the lesson today and from the Bible passages that we read. And then on the back, there's our think box. Why can't idols help us? Why can God help us? And then we've got more unscrambling to do. We've got letter tiles to unscramble. You need to unscramble the letter tiles to find this week's memory verse, but there's an extra part at the end. And it says, do you want God to be your helper and shield? So there's an unscrambled letter tiles to untangle. So I'll give you a clue. The first word is thou. So you need thou, and then you need a u, because the next word is the thou has got a u on the end. So those are some activity things to do. Now we're going to see one more song, and I think that this is Nina's favourite song. We're going to sing Good News, Good News, and I want to I shout so loudly, try and make me hear when you say the extra good news. Are you ready? Good news, Christ died for me. Good news, if I believe. Good news, I'm saved eternally. That's wonderful, extra good news. Well, I don't think you were quite loud enough. Shall we sing it one more time? Because it really is extra good news that Jesus died so that we could go to heaven and be with him forever. Are you ready? Good news, Christ died for me. Good news, if I believe. good news, good news. I'm saved eternally. That's wonderful. Extra good news. Oh, that was nice and loud. I've got a bit of a sore throat, so it must have been a loud, extra good news. So thank you for listening, everybody. And remember, there will be no Saturday Club next week because I am on holiday. But there will be Saturday Club the week after next. So I'll see you then. Goodbye.